Hi, welcome to TiETV 2018. I'm here with John Doherty, who's going to tell us a little bit about where the industry is headed and what he sees in ML and AI and blockchain.
Great, thanks. Well, we're a venture capitalist, a venture firm. We've been investing in Silicon Valley the last 10 years, and AI and ML have been trends that have been talked about recently quite a lot, and we've been investing there for about 4 years now. And we've just started getting into blockchain as well in the last 2 years, and we really think it's the early innings of both these trends. Our bet is that these trends will become huge. There's a lot of hype. I think they're both in a bit of a hype cycle right now. I think there'll be some disappointing early results that, as there always are, that will cool it down. But we think that automation in general, whether it's with AI or ML or things like that, and then personal data privacy and consumer, not just for the consumer, but also for businesses through blockchain is going to be very interesting.
Wow, so you anticipate there'll be a bit of consolidation then perhaps in the industry?
Well, usually the first companies in these trends, you look at any trend, you look at social networking, right? There's a lot of failure. There's a lot of first, kind of pioneering companies that don't quite get it right because they were so early, and they have to pivot and often fail. But that doesn't mean that next company, that next set of companies that may have started a little bit later in the cycle can't be successful, and you see this in every cycle. So that's what I meant, is that I think there'll be some, and I think it's going to come up soon in AI ML, and I think we're still not quite there on blockchain, where there'll be some notable failures and people will start to moderate in their expectation of how quick and how soon, because usually the timing is the biggest thing people get wrong. It'll be big, but it may not be big this decade, it might be next decade or next year or something like that, and that's what I meant.
Interesting. And do you think that a lot of the hype is similar to what we saw in .com, or do you think the scale is going to be different as far as consolidation?
Yeah, I think the .com is probably the biggest notable example of the hype cycle getting out of hand. But if you look at all the different businesses that people wanted to build in the .com that all failed, those businesses almost down to a line item list are now thriving businesses with new companies today. Just at that time, there wasn't a big enough addressable market of internet users on the internet to support that. But now there's a monstrous, audience out there, and all those companies, whether you're selling diapers, everything that looked silly back then, Webvan, is absolutely a hot company growing very fast today.
Interesting. So where should we be investing next, as in that early stage?
Yeah, I think that blockchain is just really beginning. I think most people think about it as a currency play. They think it's the same as cryptocurrencies, which we're frankly not as excited about. We're not very interested in changing the method of payments to that extent. But I think applying blockchain, which is really a decentralized, very secure algorithm for privacy of data, and particularly now after what's happening with Facebook and all the social media problems in terms of privacy, it becomes a very topical and very relevant opportunity. And we've already seen, it's not like it's new now. This has been going on behind the scenes at the earliest stages for the last several years, and those companies are gaining a lot of traction now because consumers, one of my partners used to work at Google, and they did a survey way back when, 10 years ago, for Gmail, and they said, hey, do you care about privacy? And 98% of the people said they couldn't care less. And say, no, we don't care, They didn't understand the question. It wasn't they didn't understand privacy, they didn't understand digital privacy. And now, with what's happened with Facebook, what's happened with the elections, fake news, now people are understanding what the question means, and it's a very different answer. And so I think that's what makes it exciting.
Interesting. And where do you see privacy going? Any trends there at the moment?
Well, I think people are now starting to unplug, and they want to have, direct control over their privacy. And you're already seeing that in the features that even just recently Apple and Facebook have rolled out, where they're allowing people to manage their privacy settings, understand what's being shared, and segment that information themselves versus relying on the motherships of these companies to do it for them. And so it's already happening.
Very interesting. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.